apart, but not necessarily jokes. Again, welcome. The reason why we have the pleasure to meeting you today is we want to give you an update on our what we call sustainability manifesto. It's our commitment to a sustainable growth of our company. Tell you a little bit of who we are, what are we achieving in this very short time of our existence. We were born on October 15, so it's 2021. So it's quite a young company. Did already mention the fact that we are very close to Airbus, to the point that Davide called us ITA Airways, not ITA Airways. So we are that link. we have done such a tight link that we even planning to change the name. I mean, no, that's not true at all. The name, official name is ITA Airways. We're spending a lot of money to establish this brand in the industry. Airbus is not only the manufacturer we selected, it's literally a partner. I'm not saying this because we are hosted by them. We found in Airbus a technical engineering supremacy. That is why we chose their aircraft. But let's never under-evaluate the importance of the commercial relationship as well. I mean, we were a startup a few months ago. Some of us, even those 5 initial employees, were not completely sure we would have started operating sooner or later because we are in the middle of a very tough negotiation with the European Commission. So it was many things ahead of us. Airbus was there since the very first days and still there. So thanks for the journey so far, but thanks even more for the journey ahead of us, which is going to be extremely challenging for both of us, our companies. I said very quickly, we were born October 15, 2021. We started operating with the support of our government. Our government took the quite bold decision to create an airline in the middle of the pandemic. 2020 was the year of the pandemic. This is where the decision was taken to create a new airline, which is kind of counterintuitive in a way, with the support of all the institutions, including the one represented by the guy sitting on my left, Pierluigi, is the chairman and president of the Italian Civil Aviation Authority, playing not even an important, a fundamental role in letting us starting in few months our operations. We got the green light on our business plan from the European Commission on July 15, 2021. We got the certification as an airline on August 17, and October 15 we started operating 52 aircraft. We moved from a startup of 5 people to 2,500 people on October 15 in a basically quite quickly. We say sustainability is one of the pillars. Sustainability in the 3 declinations is not only environment, it's people, it's social sustainability, but we believe strongly that sustainability plays a role if there is economic sustainability as well. To be able to be environment and from sustainable and social sustainable, we need to make money. Otherwise, companies go bankrupt, companies don't have a future, and this is where all the other pieces risk to fall apart. In our case, by the way, I saw something, I took a picture, let me just phrase it right. When we went up to visit our extremely beautiful aircraft, there is a stand of Airbus at the bottom of the stairs to get up. It says A350-900, clean sheet, clean start. This is your, I think, your motto or something you have written there. This is really what ITA Airways is. We started from a completely clean sheet. We forgot what happened in the past to the national Italian carrier, and we started from a completely green table where everything needed to be built from the scratch. So sustainability for us was one of the initial pillars, still is, and for us it's important because it's not only respecting the environment, but it's also respecting our balance sheet, because fuel is in this moment, by the way, not even the second, normally it's the second largest expense voice in the balance sheet. Now is the number 1. It's even bigger than the employee cost because of the current situation. So operating efficient aircrafts is not only good for the environment, it's good for our balance sheet. Then we are an Italian company. We are a proud Italian company. We want to be an ambassador of our country in a modern way. I always say we don't want to be the typical Italian pizza and mandolina. This is a typical Italian expression of describing the Italian heritage. We don't want to be that thing. Italy is known for creativity, for craftsmanship, for innovation, for ideas. We want to be interpreting that Italy. This is why we are partnering with the best in the different industries. We redesigned completely the interiors of our aircraft, and the design was made by Walter De Silva. Is the guy who for 30 years has been designing the Audi cars. This is what the guy who made Audi, the cars you all know. We designed the new uniforms, which are going to be executed around the fall this year with Brunello Cucinelli, a worldwide famous Italian stylist, which is not only good stylist, because stylist is subjective. You can like or not a dress, and there's nothing wrong in liking or not liking a dress. But it's the reason behind. It's the guy is looking for alternatives, tissues, is looking for design which goes back to the tradition with a bit of modernity inside. And then we are Italian, so we were known for the Italian way of living. Part of Italian way of living is the food. So we redesigned completely the food of our business class offering in long haul, with the support of the chef Enrico Bartolini, which is the first man at least in the history of Italian cuisine to won 4 Michelin stars in the very first year he won them. Not, of course, you can have a maximum of 3, but he got 3 in a restaurant and 1 in another restaurant in the same year, the very first time he was in the guide. And we are not focusing only on one single chef. We are going to rotate Italian famous and less famous, maybe young chefs to design our food. Then, of course, Ville mentioned it. It's our livery. We want to distinguish ourselves. We changed the brand. ITA Airways is completely new. ITA stands for Italy in a clear way. ITA is the acronym that every time there is a whatever Italian sportman or an Italian team playing in whatever competition in the world, what comes out on TV is ITA. This is where our brand comes from. And the blue livery, which is the livery of it's called the Blue Savoy in the Pantone graphic. Savoy was the name of the family who used to be the kings of Italy, and it's the celebration of the unification of the country, some kind of more than 150 years ago. And this is also, we also changed a little bit the paradigm in the way airlines put a name to their aircraft. We decided to give our aircraft the name of important sport person, both alive, some of them unfortunately not, breaking a little bit the tradition of giving names only to people who are not with us anymore. So we have a lot of aircraft with the names of people who luckily enough are with us, still with us. But why did we wanted to associate ourselves to this world? Because it's the world which respects our values and emphasize the values in which we live in, which is competition. We love competition. We don't want to have a competition which is diverted by cheating or by not respecting rules. We love competition. We want to beat our rivals on the field of service, putting the customer at the center of our philosophy, at the center of our operations, and to be completely driven by the value we deliver to our customer. And the sport is where you need to practice a lot to improve for one single millimeter. If you are doing a sport in which length is important, or by seconds or by milliseconds, if you are in Formula 1 sport car, for example. It's what we believe can support us to change completely the paradigm of the industry as we want to do. Today is also the day in which we are presenting what we think describes very well our strive for becoming a very sustainable airline. We launch the Sustainability Manifesto. We ask an artist, we ask Emiliano Pozzi, which is a quite famous Italian illustrator. He designed cover for very important American magazines, worldwide magazines. He's a globally renowned Italian designer. And we gave him the mandate to try to represent graphically what we think. And the very first image you see, which is the cover that you can see now, you have some items in this cover which represent what we believe is important to us. First of all, you have two kids there. Kids are normally naive. What is beautiful about kids is that they believe everything can be done. They don't have any artificial boundaries to their thinking. They think everything can be done. If you have kids, if you had kids or you had brothers or whatever, when you see a child playing, that child thinks that he can do whatever he wants, because it is not grown up. So when we grow up, unfortunately, we find out that some of our dreams are not possible, some of our dreams are difficult to execute. Children don't have this. Children think that everything is possible, and this is the heart of our company. We always insist on the fact that we are a startup. We still consider ourselves a startup. We are 3,547 employees, but we still consider ourselves a startup. And we want to keep this naive, if you want, culture of thinking that everything is possible. We launched an airline getting the approval from the Civil Aviation Authority in 32 days. We launched the airline in 2 months. We became profitable already last June. We closed June as a profitable airline, becoming by far one of the fastest airlines to become profitable, even faster than our budget considered, because our budget was negative in June as well. So this mentality of being able to achieve everything, and in Italian there is a way of saying touching the sky with the finger. I don't know if this says something also in English, but in Italy means when you are extremely happy, it feels like you're touching the sky with your fingers. And these children pointing their finger to the sky which by the way is blue, and if this is an image that wants to promote our company. We are an airline, and the aircraft in this image is quite small. You will see later the image of the aircraft is very small, because we think the blue of the sky, which by the way is the same blue as we have in our livery, is the year of the sea. It's not our aircraft. We call ourselves under the same sky. Our manifesto is under the same sky. We are all under the same sky. If we respect the sky, if you respect the green fields you see here, which by the way are completely open. You can imagine whatever destination you want behind those hills you see on the background. It can be any of our destinations. We will use it also with augmented reality in our Fiumicino airport in the next weeks, to show the way we consider this. And then we have the declination of the three different aspects of this sustainability. We are under the same sky, but we live on the same planet. And this is where the three major initiatives on environment comes into place, which is the decarbonization. And for us, decarbonization is not greenwashing. We ordered tens of aircrafts, which are new generation aircrafts, which are going to reduce the emission of carbon in the span of our business plan by 750 tons of carbon, helping also our balance sheet, because less carbon means less fuel. It's offsetting emission. We don't want to do it by ourselves. We want to involve our customers with the program we're launching in a couple of weeks together with us to offset the carbon emission we are going to produce in the environment. And then a green value chain, proper waste management, proper waste management not only in our aircraft but in all the premises, and what is important also including our partners and vendors to be on the same page. On the decarbonization on the fleet, by 2025 we will have 75% of our fleet will be new generation. And by 2025 the average age of our fleet will be 6 years and 2 months. It's going to be the greenest fleet in Europe. It's going to be the youngest fleet in Europe, by no mistake. There's no other airline who can beat us, because those are orders which are already placed, those are orders which are committed, and there's no other airline which will have this component of new generation aircraft in the fleet. People are important. We are in the service industry. People are important not only as our passengers but as our employees. We cannot deliver good service to customers if you're not good with our employees. An important information on this, we closed the first half of the year with the Net Promoter Score, the indicator which shows the satisfaction of customers, of 37. The average of the industry in Europe is 22. For the full service carriers, 20 for the low-cost carriers. We closed with 37 points of Net Promoter Score, which is a huge record for a just born airline. Through the efforts of our employees, and we need to treat them fairly. So gender equality, gender pay gap needs to disappear, and we have a commitment to make disappear by the end of our business plan by 2025. Empowerment of our community and investment on tourism. Italy is a strong touristic destination, but it's a weak, from a geological point of view, it's a weak country, so we need to bring customers not only to see the Fontana di Trevi and be in hundreds of thousands in that small square, but we need to distribute tourism. We have launched recently in May an initiative which is called True Italian Experience, promoting the Italian tourism and incoming tourists to Italy. Investing in people is important, is training. I'll just give you a couple of examples and numbers on the training we did for our workforce, especially for the flying workforce. We are managing courses to promote 98 captains. It's something that in Italy didn't happen for almost 20 years because the former airline has been reducing capacity, so there were no opportunities. We are promoting 98 captains. We managed 130 type rating courses, moving people from Boeing or Embraer to Airbus. We did 67 transitions from 320 to 330 of pilots, both pilots and captains. We are managing a program for 52 cadet pilots, so young people who graduated and now are entering into the career to become pilots. We delivered more than 7,800 days of training, including more than 3,000 flight training for our employees in less than 6 months. This is to train people to support our growth. And then last part is same commitment. I'm going to accelerate because I'm getting bad gestures but I know my limits. I know I'm not a very synthetic person. But I have to be honest, Ville spoke a lot as well. So he took a little bit of me from that. To be honest, he was supposed to give a small introduction. You're becoming Italian. So the same commitment means to be ethical, not only in our company. We have ethical policies both inside, and we want our providers, our vendors, our partners to sign the same ethical policies we have. And the overall engagement in the sustainability agenda. The proof of what we are saying is what's happening now. We are in the middle of a very critical time of the industry. You're all experts of the industry. You see cancellations, lines, baggage, misconnect, and stuff like that. Thanks to the investment in people, in training, in processes, and in the growth, we managed to plan our growth. We are moving from 52 aircraft this year to 76 at the end of the year. We started 52, we are ending up with 76, by the way, with 6 new A350 among them. So we planned the insourcing of pilots, of cabin crews and stuff like that, so we are not suffering any delay, any cancellation. We are number one in the world in terms of regularity with 99.9% of the flights performed. And we are number one in Europe in terms of punctuality with 95.7% of the flights landed within 15 minutes from the schedule. This is happening through our people, to our employees. They are all, in a way, like those 2 children that you saw in the first image, because they trusted and believed in the future of this airline when the airline was really almost away from still being alive and kicking, I would say now. I announced this turns into economic results. I said before, we were planning to go break even around spring next year. We generated the first profit last June. Of course, it's a little bit too early to say we are a profitable airline, but at least we managed to get the first month of profit while we were budgeting to be much lower than that. And even more, we are generating cash. We are generating cash in the excess of more than 300% of what it was in the budget for the first semester. So we are generating cash. So we're cash positive. June especially was extremely cash positive month. Numbers of punctuality I said already. Now, before concluding, and I promise the conclusion will be very short. I want to invite Pierluigi, who, by the way, I thanked for being here. Pierluigi and ENAC has been an extraordinary partner in this process, and I hope through the words I can transfer you the excitement of building this new company. ENAC has been absolutely instrumental, keeping the role they have of making sure aviation is a safe place, but they managed to work with us in a very creative way to allow all this to happen. So I would like Pierluigi